guys, in this lesson we're going to talk about receiving. This is the first of the 3 pillars of catching fundamentals. This is one of the 3 most important things you can do, and in my opinion, receiving the ball is the most important thing you can do. It's also the easiest thing to try to do too much. Listen to the word, guys, receiving. All we're doing is receiving the ball. Some coaches will talk about swaying, trying to catch it in the middle of your chest, from the squat. You guys have seen this, especially Little League, high school coaches. This is too much. Other coaches you might have heard of sticking the ball, really getting out there, being hard, getting it. Sticking is at least closer to the idea because we want to hold the ball. But the idea is we want to catch the ball with our glove in our hand and our eyes only. Do me a favor, go and watch a major league game. If you really don't pay attention to how the catcher is catching the ball, he kind of blends into the background. Catchers are on the TV during a television broadcast for the entire game. They get paid the most for the endorsements because their chest is essentially a billboard right in the middle of your screen. But at the end of the day, how often do you really walk away from a game saying, man, that catcher received the ball really great? Think about how many games you've watched. Have you ever said that? I don't think so. And maybe you're not a major leaguer, you're a little league player, you're a coach of a little league or a high school team or maybe even college. We're not trying to play like the major leaguers just because that's how they do it. No, these guys are doing it the best in the world. So we're trying to emulate them so that we can be the best versions of ourselves. So when you're back here, receive the ball. Quiet. Quiet is a term that I like to think of when I'm catching because to me it means less movement. If you want to prove this right, have your friend stand behind you, just like they're the umpire. Put their head right down next to you, put your helmet on, and have somebody flip you a ball, maybe a little bit to your right or a little bit to your left. Have them stand right here with their eyes and sway. Boom. Sway. Boom. Catch it. Ask them what they saw. They can see your head moving in their peripheral vision, and it's distracting. They're not going to call strikes. The umpire's not going to call strikes. Now do the same thing and try to keep your body as quiet and movementless as possible and just catch the ball with your hand. Boom. Boom. Your body movement is now not distracting. It's very important. Not to distract the umpire, not to give him any more reasons to think, man, maybe that pitch wasn't right where that guy was trying to throw it. Another thing, once the ball hits your glove, that ball stops moving, your glove stops moving. There are little things we can do, maybe create a short, small funnel to the middle of our body, but if it's already a strike, we certainly don't have to do that. If this pitcher throws a perfect pitch, boom, you shouldn't need to move at all. Eyes, hand, boom. If it's a little bit off, it's okay to make a little bit of a movement back towards the center of your body, but it needs to be quick and it needs to be short. Umpires are human beings, they are fallible, but they also don't like to be made a fool of. You can see catchers, you guys have seen it I'm sure, especially you younger players, catchers that are catching it from way out here and bringing it all the way to their chest. How many times do you see a guy go like this and then maybe hold it for 5 or 6 seconds? The umpire is not fooled by that, guys. Actually, he's probably frustrated that you're trying to make him look like a fool because the longer you hold that in the middle of the chest, the longer you're telling everyone that's watching, man, why is this guy not calling it a strike? And he's going to get frustrated with you. You want this guy to be on your side. So, what is okay, if it's a ball, catch it, throw it back. Then if it is a strike, hold it for maybe a second. Not too long though. You can train this guy, hey, this is a pitch that I thought is a strike, so I held it for a little bit. This is a pitch I didn't think is a strike, so I threw it back. But if you hold it for too long, he's a human being, he has feelings, you're gonna make an enemy out of him, and you don't want to do that. So again, the small movements that you can do are a small funnel right back towards the chest. No matter where you're sitting, you know that as an umpire, or what you've seen out of umpires, is that the pitcher hits you. A lot of times, no matter where you are, whether you're here or whether you're right down the middle, it certainly looks like a strike. So you want to make it look like the pitcher hit his target, and you are his target. So wherever the ball is, you can bring it back towards your center. Just a little bit, guys. Not big movements. We'll work on this in the drills that I'm going to teach you in the drill lesson. But small movements. Funnel. You guys have seen a funnel. It starts big and starts out, comes small, and it comes in towards the chest. That's the small movement that you can do if you do it quick and you do it small. One more thing that's very important to receiving, guys. Don't be stiff. If you stay out here and you hold your target for however long the pitcher's windup is, it's going to be really hard to go from still to having soft hands. Soft hands, strong hands. What do I mean when I say that? Soft hands, strong hands, it just means that when the ball hits it, it sticks. Alright? Strong hands, you need strong hands to be able to stick that ball. You also need soft hands because you're not jabbing at it. If you're going out like this doesn't look very good either, guys. Soft hands, you're just receiving the ball. That's all you're doing. So in order to have soft hands, strong hands, you have to have a relaxed mechanism. This is a style thing that a lot of guys in the big leagues do differently. You'll see Russell Martin, he kind of drops his glove and then comes back up to it. The way that I was taught and the way that I believe is always keep your glove open to the ball. If you go like this and you're late, you have nothing that can catch the ball. Russell Martin is a great catcher. He's also very, very incredibly athletic, so he can get away with things that are maybe not perfectly fundamentally sound. A lot of us aren't quite as athletic as he is, so we need to be more perfect in our actions. My relaxed mechanism that I like is a quarter turn. Think about your elbow coming back and in towards your side and your thumb rotating up. If your glove's not on, it looks like this. That's all, guys. It's small. It's just a small movement to put you in a very athletic position and to keep you moving so you don't get stiff before you receive the ball. And when you do it is you should complete your quarter turn or your relaxed mechanism, whatever you decide to do, before the pitcher releases it, so you have the whole time where the ball is in flight to then go and catch this ball. So as you're sitting here, you're in your good athletic stance that we talked about in the stance lessons. And again, guys, if you haven't seen those stance lessons yet, those are very important. If you're going to receive, you need to be balanced. So get in a good athletic balanced stance. That's the first part of receiving. You're in your good athletic stance, you have your relax mechanism, and then you just receive the ball. Relax, receive. Eyes and hands, that's all it is. Relax, catch the ball. How easy does this look, guys? It looks like the pitcher is making great pitches all over town. Now the hardest pitches to receive are the balls down and the balls down and glove side. So the ball down and glove side, what we're going to want to do is have our thumb up. If we try to go at it this way with our thumb down like that, that's a great way to break our thumb. We don't want to do that. Here, first of all, your glove doesn't have very much surface area to catch the ball. It's also very dangerous. If it's down and glove side, you want to rotate that thumb up and go to the ball this way. It's the only way to protect yourself and have more surface area of the glove to catch the ball. Also, that down pitch, there's two ways that you could catch it. You could either go thumb underneath like this, try to get underneath the ball and beat it to the bottom, guys. You have to beat this ball to the bottom and you have to be moving up. If you want to feel this, hold your right hand over your arm and pull up. You should feel this shoulder muscle really activate. All right, I have a drill for this. It's the high to low flip drill. We'll work on that in the drill lesson. But feel that muscle. That's the muscle that has to activate just before the ball hits your glove. So as the ball's coming, you're below it and you start moving up. If you start moving up before the ball hits you and the ball's coming down, that's when it stops. You can have soft hands, you can have strong hands by activating this shoulder muscle in an upward motion in order to go meet the ball. If something's coming down and you're coming up, that's the way it stops. If you're late, that ball is going to take your glove down and you're going to come up. How many times do you see guys that are maybe not great receivers catch that low pitch like this? You've seen it, right, guys? It hits their glove now, boom, and then they try to stick it. You're not fooling anybody. Everyone thinks that ball is down now. If you're going to try to get your thumb underneath the ball, you need to get below it before it comes, activate that shoulder muscle in an upward fashion. The other way to catch the low ball is the give and turn method. Travis d'Arnaud of the New York Mets and Jason Varitek were excellent experts at this receiving method. What you do is that ball's low, so as it hits your glove, you turn your glove with the ball and you come back and up a little bit. Boom. I think Travis actually does it this way. But as that ball's going down, think about it, guys. That ball's going down. It has a lot of momentum. These pitchers are throwing the ball really hard. So if you turn with it, that helps eat some of the momentum of the ball and make your arm stronger. And you can just bring it up a little bit. And now the ball's down in this part of your glove, but the umpire can see the top part of your glove. Without really having to move your glove much, it really makes the ball seem like it's a little bit higher. That low pitch is very important because that's where pitchers are trying to throw it. That's where it's hard for hitters to really hit extra base hits and really hurt you. So if pitchers are trying to throw it there, and we can make that pitch, we can bring the bottom of the strike zone down a little bit and steal more strikes. That's very important for our pitching staff. So this low pitch, either the give and turn, turn it, give it a little bit in, maybe a little bit up, or the get your thumb underneath it. Those are two different styles that you could toy around with. I have drills for you guys. We'll work in the drill lesson for both of those. Down and low, turn your thumb over, and if it's pitches that are a little bit easier, just your hands and your eyes, guys. Keep your body more quiet. And I like to say quiet more than still because I don't want you guys to be stiff. You're still athletic. You're still strong players. But quiet just means that the motions are smaller. You're still controlled. You're still strong. But catch the ball with your hands and your eyes. Because one thing that's very important about receiving is that you have to be balanced. We talked about this in the stance videos. If you're not balanced, you're going to be kind of leaning. Your glove is going to go with your body. If you're falling forward, your glove's going to be falling forward. If you're falling back, it's going to be falling back. Also, what's going to happen is your eyes are going to be moving. So if you're not in a good balanced stance, think about it, guys. If your eyes are moving, to you, that ball is moving more. And it's already hard enough to catch these guys. I know in the major leagues they're throwing 100 miles per hour, but whatever league you're at, whatever level you're at, high school, little league, college, these guys are throwing hard. These guys are the best that you have to offer at your level. So if you make it any harder on yourself, that's not necessary. So make sure that you're balanced, your eyes are not moving. You give yourself the best opportunity to receive this ball as well as you can. Hands and eyes. When I was in the major leagues with the Atlanta Braves, our manager, Freddie Gonzalez, said to the media, "The best compliment I could give Lavarnway on his catching tonight is that I didn't notice him." And that might be something that you wouldn't think is a compliment, but think about it, guys. The only time you're going to notice a catcher is either he does something really extraordinary, he throws a guy out, does a great play at the plate, but how often does that happen? Every day you can affect the game by catching the ball the way it's supposed to be caught, not needing to chase any balls back to the backstop, and keeping the game in a good flow. That's on you, guys. If you can call pitches so that the pitcher's not sitting up there shaking, stepping off. You're calling pitches, you're on the same page as your pitcher, you're keeping the flow of the game going. That's a positive. You're receiving the ball, it's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be received. Sometimes the best thing you could do as a catcher is not be noticed. So when you're receiving, guys, one of the most important things that you can do is anticipation. Good receiving requires strong hands, good hand-eye coordination, and great anticipation. You've seen your pitchers before. Hopefully in the game, it's not the first time you've caught these guys. You know what their pitches are going to do, and you know what pitch you called, so you're the only one on the field other than the pitcher that knows what pitch is coming. So when you're back here, the way to really receive it well is to beat that ball to the spot. Whether it's down to the left, right, up, wherever. If you can beat that ball to the spot, you're going to catch it the best. And what do I mean by that? So if the ball is going to be caught right here, then your glove is there before the ball's there. If you're late and the ball's here, you're going to catch it going this way. You're taking it out of the zone. If it's right here and you're late, you're going to catch it going this way. You're too late. But if you get your glove there before the ball gets there, boom, you can use your muscles and use your coordination to go in a direction opposite and anti where that ball's coming, and then once the ball hits your glove, it's completely still. And that's what we want, guys. Once the ball hits your glove, nothing is moving anymore. Think about the best receivers that you've seen. It looks easy. It looks like they're not doing anything. Really. That's not an accident, and they're not lazy. What they're doing is they're making it look easy. It's not always easy to make it look that easy. It takes anticipation, it takes beating the ball to the spot, and having good balance. Alright guys, I want to talk about receiving. When I first created these videos about a year ago, I talked about the two methods on how to receive the low ball, the thumb under and the give and turn. Well, we've been working on this course for almost a year now. I just went and played the season. I was with a new team, a new organization, the Oakland A's. I made it up to the big leagues with them. And their catching coach and their manager both played in the big leagues for I think 9 and 10 years each. So they have a lot of knowledge. And there's a new trend in receiving the low ball today. I just wanted to give you a third option. As we keep going with this course, I'm going to give you all the information I have and try to give you everything you can to work with to receive and to be the best catchers that you can be. So the new trend in receiving that I've noticed in the game and that they taught me with the A's this year is not necessarily just thumb under, not just give and turn, but kind of the, I don't know how to call it, the counterclockwise turn, I would say. The theory is that the umpire coming from behind you loses the ball in the last foot or two of its trajectory, and really what they see is this arm. So what we're trying to do with this new, different receiving technique for the low ball is to keep this part completely stationary. We're going to turn our glove down so that we can receive the ball lower than it actually appears to the umpire if all they can see is our arm. And then as the ball hits our glove, it's a quick rotate this way and try to keep this completely still. So the idea is normally if I'm showing a target like this, the umpire sees this is how high my glove is, this is how high my arm is, this looks like the bottom of the strike zone. Now without moving this part of my arm, which is the only part the umpire can see, I rotate. Now I've gotten from here, I've lowered the strike zone, I can catch this ball, and the idea is that I've now gained 4 to 5 inches at the bottom of the zone that we hope maybe the umpire can't see. And again, guys, everything we've talked about with receiving the low ball is trying to get our pitchers those extra strikes. If you can throw a quality pitch down in the zone, that's going to help your team win. So I'm going to add a drill in the drill section for this part too. But again, this is just another option for you to add to your arsenal, another club for your golf bag. Another thing that you can do to make your game strong is give the target here, keep your forearm and your arm straight. You can rotate, you can catch the ball in the pocket below where it looks like you're receiving that low ball, and it's a quick rotate. If you have to go down and then pull it back up, that's not what we're talking about here, guys. We're trying to really keep that umpire's visual as if this target arm, where you set your target, is right where you want it to go. Another thing when you're trying this technique is, we've talked about a relax mechanism. I've talked about how I like to twist my thumb up, bring my elbow in the other videos, to keep your arm relaxed and not get stiff. One way to do that with this method is to try it the other way. So as you're getting ready to receive the ball, the pitcher gets ready to throw, this is now your relax mechanism for this type of receiving technique. Because you still need to relax, you still need to get some sort of motion, catch the ball in the pocket, where this looks like it's still a strike, and then just rotate it right back up without moving your arm. Test it out, see what you think. I'll get back to you in the drill section. This was a big change this year that I made. Straight towards it, you move, you relax down. Relax down. Hey guys, it's Ryan Lavarnway coming to you with Pro Baseball Insider. Today I want to talk about glove movement efficiency. This is something that I had never even heard about this year until this year. I was with the Cleveland Indians, and when I got sent back down to the minors, I asked, what is the one thing that I can work on the most that's going to make the biggest difference in my career and the biggest difference in getting me back to the big leagues? And the answer I heard was glove movement efficiency. The thing about it is, It helps your receiving so much, and it's something that no one's ever heard of before. So I want to share it with you guys today because it's so important. The amount of movement that your glove is doing between your relax mechanism and attacking the ball and receiving through the ball is going to affect how you receive, and it's going to affect the movement after the ball hits your glove. I want you to consider this. Everybody does a relax mechanism when they are catching. Some people teach quarter thumb, quarter turn with your thumb. Some people relax the back of their glove to the pitcher. What I was doing was relaxing my glove down to the ground. And the reason that I was doing that was because I'm trying to get underneath the ball and work up towards it, because I know that catching the low pitch is the most important. What I didn't realize was that as I was going down to the ground to relax, my body felt like this was an unathletic position. My glove is far away from my center of gravity, the center of mass. So unconsciously, I would relax down to the ground, and as the ball was coming, my glove would sneak back towards my center, and then if it was a low pitch, I'd then have to attack the ball from above it, even though I had relaxed down to the ground in an attempt to avoid that, okay? That's a lot of information to process, but this is the why behind why this is so important. If you can relax down to the ground and hold it there, then it's a good idea to stay there. But if you're like me, where you relax and you have a double relax move, and going to the ball is a third move, we want to get away from that because that's not going to be efficient. I'll show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. If you can relax down to the ground, stay there, and then go for the ball, that's a high pitch, that was an easy one, but you relax down to the ground, and you go from there straight to the ball, you're working from underneath the ball, and that's a good idea. What I was doing without even realizing it until we looked at the video in super slow motion and tagged a laser on my glove was I was relaxing down to the ground, coming back up, and then attacking the ball. So it would be a little bit faster, and you wouldn't even see it unless you're really locked in on it. But you can kind of see I bring the glove back towards my center because my body just feels more athletic there. And guys, catching is an athletic position. We always want to be as athletic as possible. The ball is flying at us at 100 miles per hour. Even in Little League, it feels like 100 miles per hour sometimes. High school, whatever level you're at, you want to stay athletic. So if you're like me and you fall into the bucket of you try to relax down and you can't do it, think about your relax move just being a little bit smaller. What I went to the second half of the year in an effort to get more glove movement efficiency was I would just relax close to in place. So then as the ball's coming, it almost looks like I'm doing nothing. But let me tell you guys, doing nothing is extremely hard. You relax, you get ready to attack the ball, and now because my move is smaller and there's less going on, it's very efficient. And what that helped me do was receive the low ball better, receive on the corners better as well. I started stealing more strikes, and I ended up getting called back up to the big leagues a second time this year. I hope this works for you as well as it worked for me. Give it a try. Send us some feedback on what you think. Good luck. The first receiving drill is just bare hand receiving. So I want you to be able to do this from the non-action stance and the action stance. But the main idea of it is just to train hand-eye coordination, hand strength, and you could also work on keeping your body quiet or close to still. Not stiff, but closer to still. Catch the ball with your hands and your eyes. Just get your coach, a partner, or a friend, flip you the ball, catch it bare hand, flip it off to the side. next drill, guys, is I like to call around the world. So you could do this. Guys, the second progression of this drill, once you start to become an expert at catching it bare hand, is to start with another ball in your hand already. And you're going to position this ball under your pinky and your ring fingers. And the point of this is so that you're catching it with these three fingers. This is the pocket, and this is exactly where you want to be catching it once you have your glove on. If you're a younger player, maybe you have smaller hands, it's not as important that it's a baseball. You could put a golf ball in there, maybe a tennis ball, or even just hold those fingers closed and only allow yourself to catch the ball with these three fingers. Again, hand strength, hand-eye coordination, and training your body to catch the ball with just your hands and your eyes. So you get in this drill, put that ball under your pinky, and have a coach or a teammate or a friend flip you the ball. Alright guys, this next drill is called the high to low drill. This is another drill where the idea is to get the shoulder muscle activated. Alright guys, the next drill is catching pitches off the machine. This is the closest that you can get to game speed and game intensity other than actually having a pitcher throw off the rubber. Now when you're catching any ball with any sort of velocity, I always recommend throwing your gear on, especially your mask, because no matter how confident you are that you could catch this ball 100,000 times out of 100,001, that one time you're going to be thankful that you had your mask on. Maybe you have to sneeze, maybe the light gets in your eyes, I don't know. But I would always recommend having your mask on. Catch this ball again. Eyes and hands. The next receiving drill is left-handed curveballs. This could also be right-handed sinkers. The only difference, or the main difference between catching a right-handed curveball and a left-handed curveball is that for right-handed catchers, which is almost all of us, catching the ball that's going this way, down and towards our glove side, is the hardest pitch to catch. So we really got to... The first receiving drill is just bare hand receiving. So I want you to be able to do this from the non-action stance and the action stance. So you could do this with your bare hand flips, to train hand the mini glove or your regular glove. The important thing is your coach or your parent or your friend is going to walk in a circle now. They're changing the angle that the ball is being flipped from. Same idea for you is you're trying to work on hand strength, hand-eye coordination, and catching the ball just with your hands and eyes. But now the angle's changing. So you stay straight towards the pitcher, and as your parent, friend, or coach is flipping you the ball, they're moving where it's coming from, and thus the angle that it's coming in on, simulating more curveballs or wild pitches. Alright guys, the next receiving drill is with a mini glove. I don't know if you guys have one. If you don't, maybe skip on to the next drill. But what it is this is my game glove. This is my training glove. As you can see, it's much smaller. Looks maybe like it was made for a baby. But the idea is that, again, it's teaching you to catch the ball in the perfect position in the pocket between these three fingers like we did with the bare hand. Same idea. You could do this from the non-action stance or the action stance. Practice hand-eye coordination, hand-eye strength, catching the ball with your hands and your eyes. Next drill, guys, put your regular glove on. Same thing. You could do flips. As you start getting better, have your coach back up. Have them start throwing harder. But the idea is now you have your regular mid on, you have your gamer. This is what you're going to use in the game. Hand strength, hand-eye coordination, catching the ball just with your hands and your eyes. Alright guys, so this is the new receiving drill with the new third option for you to receive that low ball. Basically your coach just flips it or throws it to you, and you practice catching it, rotating it without this part of your arm moving, and without needing to really go down. I guess the key is really keep that part still, catch it and rotate. Guys, is remember you have to give a relax mechanism so that your arm doesn't get stiff. And Alright guys, this next drill is called the high to low drill. This is another drill where the idea is to get the shoulder muscle activated so that you are ready to get beneath the ball and catch it with a thumb under technique on that low pitch. Guys, the low pitch is the hardest one to catch well, but it's also one of the most important. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your friend, your parent, or your coach up on a stool or a chair maybe 10 feet in front of you, and they're going to throw the ball at a pretty steep angle out in front of you, and you're going to have to really get under it, and it's obviously exaggerating the angle that you'll ever catch it at from the game, but you really have to feel this muscle get under and pull up, because you don't want to let that ball take your glove and pull it down. As soon as that ball hits your glove, you want it to stop moving. So it's important that your friend that's helping you, your friend, coach, or parent, makes a good throw. It's the right distance in front of you. If they throw it where it's a perfect strike, it's not going to do anything. And if they throw it too far out in front, you're not going to reach it. But there's a sweet spot there where it's perfect for you to get underneath it and feel the shoulder muscle lifting your arm, lifting the glove, and not letting the ball pull your glove down. The third and final progression of this bare hand drill, if you're really getting good at catching it bare hand and catching it with one ball in your hand, is to train your hand to not only be strong, but to be dexterous, to really be able to manipulate the ball in your hand. And it's, again, start with no balls in your hand, and as your teammate, your friend, or your coach is flipping you the ball, catch one, shift it down into your pinky, and catch the second. If you get really good, you could even try to catch a third. But if you're not quite there, catch the one, shift it, catch the second ball, drop them both, do it again. Catch one, shift it, catch the second, and just see how strong you can make your bare hand. Now let's try three. Good luck. Alright guys, this drill is called the short hop drill, and what it helps teach is when we talk about receiving that low pitch with the thumb under technique, what it does is we have to activate this muscle. I talked about this in the receiving lesson. You have to activate this muscle before the ball gets there. So what this drill does is you're going to start with your thumb on the ground and your glove open to the ball. You're going to have your coach, a teammate, or a parent flip you the ball, and they're going to be flipping you soft one hops. The idea is that you have to anticipate that the ball is going to hop and move your glove forward and slightly up, but more forward, and activate this muscle in order to pick the short hop. And we don't want to train you in the game to be picking the balls and getting lazy, but what we are teaching is this muscle and the out, forward, and up movement to get that thumb really underneath that low pitch. Then when the ball is in the air and you're making that same movement, you'll have done it before. Bounce it closer. Alright guys, the next receiving drill is have your coach, a teammate, or a parent flip you heavy balls. They could be those fancy heavy baseballs that they sell at the sports stores, or they could be small medicine balls that you can find at the gym or anywhere else. The idea is that you get used to receiving something that's a little bit heavier. It helps your hand strength. It helps those shoulder muscles we talk about when you're receiving the low pitch. And again, focus on catching the ball with just your eyes and your hands. You could do this from your non-action stance and your action stance. Alright guys, this is one of the favorite drills that I do that my players love. You could do this at a team practice, have a bunch of guys around, or you could do this just with one guy and a coach. And I'm going to do it first as the coach who's flipping, so I can point out the things that you don't want to do as the player, which Doug will demonstrate. And then I'll have Doug flip to me and kind of do the contrast of what I want to do. So the idea is with this drill is speed receiving. If you're jabbing at the ball, you're not going to be able to get the next one because I'm going to flip them pretty quick in there. You could do this with a bare hand, with a mini glove like Doug's going to demonstrate, or with your regular glove. Grab a bunch of balls if you're the coach. You don't need to stand too far away. Doug's going to assume the catcher's position. And I'm just going to flip them as fast as I can. They're going to be coming from both hands. They're going to be all over the place, unpredictable, and he's just going to try to catch it and then drop it as fast as he can. So, like I said, it's really difficult. The balls are coming from unpredictable angles, and if you jab at the ball, like I just told Doug not to do, you're gonna be in a bad position. You're not gonna have time to get to the next ball. So let's try this again, Doug. And the idea is that you want to receive it soft, and all you need to do is just beat the ball to the spot, and as you're catching it, move on, get ready for the next one. That was better. He was softer, but what he didn't even do was he never even caught the ball. He just kind of batted it with his hand. So we're going to pick up these balls, and I'm going to have Doug flip to me, and he's going to try to embarrass me the way that I'm sure he feels embarrassed right now. But the idea is I'm going to try to catch it and show you how we're supposed to do it. All right, let's try this. So again, guys, the softer you can receive them and just beat the ball to the spot, catch it and drop it, you should be able to get them. And then if you want to have a little fun as the coach, that second to last one, throw them a slow one, you get them right in the chest. That's always fun. Go out there and enjoy this one. guys, the next drill is catching pitches. The next receiving drill is left-handed curveballs. This could also be right-handed sinkers. The only difference, or the main difference between catching a right-handed curveball and a left-handed curveball is that for right-handed catchers, which is almost all of us, catching the ball that's going this way, down and towards our glove side, is the hardest pitch to catch. So we really got to practice this. This should be one of the most important drills that you can do because you really got to learn how to do it. So if that ball is down into your glove side, you want to make sure that that thumb stays up. Catching it like this is dangerous for your thumb, and it's tough to catch. Practically, it's not a lot of surface area open to the glove. If you could catch it center of your body or to your right, it's a little bit easier. And if it's up to this side, you could catch a thumb up. You could go out here. It's more of a style thing. But it's important to understand how to catch the ball that's moving in this direction because this is the hardest pitch to catch. The next receiving drill off the machine is right-handed curveballs. Now, one thing that's important to realize is that you don't always have to set up right down the middle wherever the plate is set up. No matter where the machine is, it's going to be throwing it in the same spot. And the pitcher's not always going to hit you right in the chest. So you want to make sure that you catch the ball down the middle off the machine, whether it's fastballs, curveballs, whatever. Move a little bit to your left, move a little bit to your right, so that you're catching each pitch in every location. Also, make sure you do action stance and non-action stance, so you're getting the full gamut of exercises out of this one drill. Also, one important thing is when you're catching curveballs, the big difference between the curveball and the fastball is that the ball's not coming straight in, guys. You know that. That's obvious. It's curving. But as catchers, we know that it's going to curve, so we're not following the ball with our glove in our eyes the whole way. Well, we follow with our eyes. But just because the ball goes up, if we know that it's going to come back down, we don't follow it like this. You'll see some young players, some untrained catchers do that. But that's not going to be us. We're going to be excellent. We're going to catch the ball with just our hands in our eyes. We're going to be quiet. We're going to beat the ball to the spot where it's going, not where it looks like it's going. Alright guys, once you get really good and really confident with catching fastballs off the machine, the next progression of it, the next thing that the kids I give lessons to in the high schoolers that they really enjoy doing is picking up the speed a little bit. So you could either turn up the speed in the machine and stay at full distance, or if you really want to have fun with it, start at full distance where the machine is fast but not totally uncatchable. And every time you catch a ball, move closer to the machine. So instead of the actual velocity of the machine turning up, you're actually just closing the distance, and the perceived speed and the time of ball in flight is smaller. The speed seems higher. So as you move, make sure you catch the ball and move closer. One thing I'll say about this is make sure you're safe, make sure you're wearing a mask. do it at your own risk. And also, whoever's operating the machine, as you get closer, they need to make sure they change the angle of the machine so it's lower, because since you're closer, the ball doesn't need to be so high. And if it stays high, that's when I've seen some people get hit in the mask. So be very careful. And whoever's operating the machine, as the player gets closer, make sure you lower the angle.